Welcome to Storied Audio. The night was quiet, too quiet for a city that usually hummed even after midnight. Former Marine Ethan Ward had learned to trust silence. Silence meant something was wrong. He was walking home from his late shift when he heard it. A muffled cry, the scrape of shoes against pavement, the low growl of men threatening someone. Ethan rounded the corner and saw two men trying to shove a woman into the back of a black SUV. Her eyes were wide with terror. She fought hard, but they were stronger. Ethan didn't hesitate. Training kicked in. He moved fast, one strike to the first man's throat, a sweep to the second's legs, a sharp elbow to the jaw. Within seconds both men were on the ground, groaning, unable to stand. The woman stumbled back, shaking. Ethan stepped toward her gently. "You're safe," he said. "I'm not going to hurt you." "No police," she whispered immediately, panicked. "Please? No police." That was unusual. But her fear was real, and Ethan had always trusted instinct. "Okay," he said softly. "Then come with me. You shouldn't be alone tonight." She nodded. At his apartment. Her name was Serena Vale. She was beautiful in a quiet, haunted way, dark hair, soft voice, eyes that looked like they'd seen too much. She sat on his couch, wrapped in one of his blankets, hands trembling around a mug of tea. "Thank you," she said. "You saved my life." "Who were those guys?" Ethan asked. Serena hesitated. "People who think they own me." He didn't push. She wasn't ready. They talked for hours. About music, about the ocean, about how Ethan missed the structure of the Marines but not the violence. Serena listened like no one ever had. She smiled at him, small but genuine, and something in his chest tightened. She fell asleep on his couch. Ethan stayed awake in the chair across from her, keeping watch. He didn't know why, but protecting her felt right. The knock at the door. At dawn, heavy footsteps thundered up the stairs. Ethan stood instantly, ready for a fight. The door burst open. A dozen men in suits filled the doorway, armed, dangerous, and led by a man with silver hair and a presence that filled the room. Serena gasped. "Dad." Her father. Adrian Vale. Head of one of the most powerful crime families on the East Coast. Ethan tensed, ready for the worst. But Adrian looked at him, and bowed his head. "You saved my daughter," he said. "For that you have my respect. And my gratitude." Serena hugged her father, but her eyes kept drifting back to Ethan. Something unspoken passed between them. Something neither of them could ignore. A week later, Ethan was repairing a fence behind his building when a familiar voice said, "You're hard to find." He turned. Serena stood there, hands clasped nervously. "I need to ask you something," she said. "I want you to be my bodyguard." Ethan blinked. "Serena, your world is dangerous." "I know," she whispered. "That's why I want you." Her father stepped out from a black car behind her. "I'll pay you well," Adrian said. "Very well." Ethan needed the money. Badly. But more than that, he liked Serena. More than he should. He nodded. "I'll do it." Serena exhaled in relief. Being her bodyguard meant constant threats. Rival families, old enemies, people who wanted leverage over the Valles. Over the next year, Ethan fought off attackers in parking garages, intercepted a car bomb, shielded her during an ambush outside a restaurant. Every time, Serena clung to him afterward, trembling, whispering, "I'm okay because of you." They grew close, too close for a bodyguard and client. They shared late-night talks, quiet breakfasts, moments where their hands brushed and neither pulled away. One night, after he stopped yet another attack, Serena grabbed his shirt, pulled him close and kissed him. It wasn't soft. It was desperate. Honest. "You're more than my bodyguard," she whispered against his lips. "I want you. I choose you." Ethan rested his forehead against hers. "Serena, if we do this, your world will come for us." "I don't care," she said. "I'm tired of people trying to use me. Hurt me. Hurt you. I'm tired of watching you fight for me. I'm scared every time you step in front of a bullet meant for me." Her voice broke. "I love you, Ethan." He kissed her again, slow and certain. "I love you too." Serena went to her father the next morning. Adrian listened silently as she said she wanted to leave the family. Leave the violence. Leave the expectations. Move somewhere peaceful with Ethan. "I'm tired, Dad," she said, tears in her eyes. "I want a life that doesn't require him to bleed for me." Adrian's jaw tightened. He loved his daughter fiercely, even if his world was built on danger. "You know people may still come for you," he warned. Serena nodded. "But Ethan will protect me. And I'll protect him. We're stronger together." Adrian studied her, really studied her. Then he looked at Ethan, who stood behind her, steady as a wall. "You love her," Adrian said. "Yes," Ethan answered without hesitation. Adrian exhaled slowly. "Then your family now." He helped them disappear, new identities, new documents, new lives. It was the greatest gift he could give his daughter. They moved to a small beach town in Maine, quiet streets, salty air, waves that whispered instead of roared. Ethan found work repairing boats. Serena opened a tiny art studio by the water. They walked the beach every evening, fingers intertwined, the world finally gentle around them. Sometimes strangers would pass by, and Ethan's hand would tighten protectively around hers. Serena would smile and lean into him. "You don't have to protect me every second," she'd tease. "Yes, I do," he'd say softly. "I always will." And she loved him for it. Back home, Adrian kept tabs from afar. He missed his daughter, but every time he received a photo of her smiling on the beach, he knew he'd made the right choice. She was safe. She was loved. And the man she chose was worthy of her. The ending they fought for. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky gold, Serena rested her head on Ethan's shoulder. "Do you ever regret it?" she asked. "Leaving everything?" Ethan kissed her forehead. "Not for a second. You're my peace, Serena. My purpose." She closed her eyes, letting the waves wash over their feet. They had survived danger, defied a crime empire, and built a life out of love and courage. And in that quiet Maine sunset, they finally had what they'd fought so hard for. A future. Together. Subscribe to the channel for more audio stories.